Sun Tzu philosophy. More than 2000 years ago, a Chinese general named Sun Tzu wrote of the great classic of military strategy, called The Art of War. A teaching of strategy applied with wisdom to human nature in times of conflict that helps us to understand the roots of a conflict and seek a solution. For Sun Tzu, the art of war is based on a Chinese game called Go, whose objective is to conquer territories for which it is necessary to surround them with one's own stones. The winner is the player who, at the end of the game, has conquered a larger territory than his opponent. War allows the survival of a state, and analysis must be made from both sides, considering the following factors: morale, climate, terrain, command, and doctrine. This allows is a certain way to determine the course of the confrontation. The one that manages of dominates then is the one that will have greater possibilities of winning, as the one that doesn't is the one that will have more possibilities of suffering a defeat. War is a means to achieve objectives of our goals, but it isn't an end. But if there is another means to achieve your goals, it is not necessary to fight hand to hand, but to use your intelligence. Or, and Sun Tzu will say, to win 100 battles is not the best of your kills. To subdue your enemies without fighting is the best. Sun Tzu imagines the Supreme General as a man who must be intelligent and cunning, never rash or arrogant. He is totally against impulsive, rash behavior or making the army faster that he should to win the victory. Within Sun Tzu teachings, we can highlight the following. Number 1. Make your enemy move, tempt him with something you know he is going to go after. Number 2. Take your army where it faces that there is no escape, and it will not run away or feel fear because there is nothing it cannot achieve. Number 3. If the orders are not clear and the troops do not obey, it is the general's fault. But if the orders are clear and are not obeyed, it is the fault of the subordinate officers. And finally, know your enemy and know yourself, and in 100 battles you will never be in danger. Sun Tzu teaches us to know ourselves. You know our strengths and weakness and what we are capable of on the battlefield. In Sun Tzu, main victory comes from deep thought, detailed calculation and long preparation. It is important to cultivate a deep and fundamental understanding of our adversaries, so that we can better achieve our object. For it is possible that Sun Tzu didn't offer us use details of the past, but rather preparate use for the wars of the future. The technology of a katana. The katana contains the soul of a samurai, and is the strongest sword ever created. It combines two materials, iron and steel, strength and hardness. The katana is not only a weapon of great beauty, but also a symbol of agility, power, and precision. Now, the process of forging Japanese blade usually took weeks or even months and was considered, even to this day, as a sacred art. The melting of the metals alone took 3 days and 3 nights, has quite many complex endeavors greater than there being a single craftsman. Several artists were involved in the creation of the Japanese sword. There was a blacksmith to forge the round shape, often a second blacksmith apprentice. To bend the metal, a specialist polisher called a togi, as well as the various craftsmen who made the koshiar, the various accessories used to decorate the finished blade, and Sagan discovered the sharpening and polishing process. It said to take as long as the forging of the blade itself. The most common rolling method the Japanese sword blade is formed from is a combination of 2 different steels, an outer sheet of the harder steel wrapped around an inner core of softer steel. This creates a blade that has a hardened cutting, sharp edge, wide ability to absorb shock in a way that reduces the chance of the blade breaking when used in combat. The katana is the palpable proof of the man's ability to achieve perfection, is the proof of hard work, is in the face of centuries of generations and generations of the sword makers whose goal was to create the best blade in the world. Since compared to European sword, the katana didn't require as much strength to maneuver. 1,000 years of discipline, unwavering devotion, and incomparable skill, a rebellion that Japan continues to proudly uphold, and the legend of the katana lives on.